Oh my goodness, what a game. A nail-biting finish with absolutely no help from the officials. They were absolutely horrendous in the game today. And the Raptors win 119-117 on a game winner from Kawhi Leonard. And this game had a little bit of everything going on. First quarter, Raptors just dominate. 31-24 Raptors lead after one quarter play. The offense is going, the defense is going good. We're feeling good after the Boston game. Great job there. Second quarter, it's even. 30 apiece. Both teams shooting the rock pretty well. And, obviously still +7 at the half. Now, you need to have a good second half here and pull away a little bit. Now, the Raptors did at one point in the third quarter. They had a 16-point lead at one point. But then it dwindled away a little bit. The Raptors, for the final few minutes of the third quarter, did not make a field goal. They were still +2 in the third quarter, so +9 at the end of 3 going into the fourth quarter. And in that fourth quarter, for the first 4 minutes, the Raptors still cannot make a field goal. And we're standing here that's now 6 minutes now without a field goal, and the lead is dwindling away. The defense is hanging in there for dear life. Can we please make a shot? And it takes Kawhi Leonard coming back into the game and just taking over. He was electric. And let's talk about a few things here. 4 minutes of the game? Nurkic gets a defensive rebound. Siakam just kind of... He swipes at him, misses it, and he starts to run back, as usually what happens when you get the rebound. You kind of go in there for one little swipe, and then you walk away. They call Siakam for a foul, which I'm not sure what you're looking at. And then that puts them in the bonus. So that's a huge call right there. They go to the line, they make 2 free throws, and that's a terrible call. A little bit later on, Damian Lillard, it was later on in the final minute. Siakam gets called on a blocking foul, and he kind of stepped in front of Lillard. But in the dying minute of a tie game or a tight game the way it was, are you really going to make that call? But I'm okay with that one because it was kind of hit or miss. But, again, it's a very tough call there late in the game. Lowry drives, looking to tie the game, fires it up there, gets hammered by Nurkic. Nothing. And I'm not just saying that he got hit. No, he got absolutely hammered by Nurkic. Luckily, Lowry makes the shot, but he should have got an and one. But it's okay, let's move on. Raptors up by 3. 17 seconds left on the game clock. Lillard takes a 3. They call a foul on Lowry. You look at the replay. He didn't touch him. He wasn't close. When Lillard goes up and acts like he gets fouled because that's the way it happens. But there was no contact. Not even a single piece. It's not like, there was nothing. Not a single piece of contact on that play. And Lillard goes to the line for 3 shots to tie the game. And he makes all 3 to tie it at 117. Are you kidding me? Next play, there's no timeouts left. You got to run it up the floor. Kawhi Leonard at the buzzer, kind of bounces up and rattles in for the game winner. Gets 1 point. It was 1.5 left on the clock, but they try a Hail Mary shot at the end and misses it. But Kawhi Leonard with the buzzer beater. Well, I wouldn't say buzzer beater. The last second shot. And the Raptors come away with the 119-117 victory over the Portland Trailblazers. That team can shoot. Look, Damian Lillard, I will say it here on the show. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Because you know how D'Angelo Russell, I got ice in my veins. He literally has ice in his veins, but he doesn't say anything about it. He takes the shot and that's it. I love it. He's ice cold as Damian Lillard. I love what he does out there. And of course, getting calls there late. But the player of the game for them, the reason they were in this game for most of the game, CJ McCollum ended up with 35 points on 12 of 20 shooting, 7 of 11 from 3. That is incredible. He was spectacular for the Portland Trail Blazers. But again, other than Lillard and CJ McCollum, they don't really have that X factor. They don't have that next guy to step up, right? Look, Nurkic has been good for them. How's Harkless been? He hasn't been anything special, and he's in their starting lineup. Nurkic has been good, averaging a double-double. The Raptors hold him to only 10 points and 7 boards. The reason being, he got in foul trouble early on. He only plays 19 minutes because of that, and the Raptors keep him off the floor. But my MVP for the Toronto Raptors in today's game is no question Kawhi Leonard. 38 points, 4 boards, 5 assists on 14 of 23 shooting, 8 of 8 from the line. He was 2 of 4 from 3. He had a couple steals in the game, plus 12 on the floor. He was spectacular. Now, there's a lot of other guys on the Raptors who had a great night. Now, this game, I want to say it wasn't pretty. I mean, you win a game against a very good team, you don't care how it ends up happening. But the points off of turnovers was an issue tonight. And we've seen with this Raptor team, when they take care of the basketball, they dominate. Look at that Boston game. It was a perfect example. The Raptors took care of the ball, and they crushed the Celtics. Raptors had 13 turnovers, but at the very least, it led to 20 points. Big factor, right? Now, the Raptors did turn the Trailblazers over 15 times. I'm not sure how many points that led to, so you can kind of go off of that. But the big reason this team won tonight is 1, Kawhi Leonard, and 2, defense. Now, look, you can look at the game. If you guys love looking at just stats only and don't watch the game, the Raptors gave up 117 points, but I thought they played a spectacular defensive game. Look, CJ McCollum was making threes at a ridiculous rate. You can have a hand in his face, a body in his face. It doesn't matter. He's making a shot. Lillard, same thing, right? Those two guys are incredible. And I thought the Raptors did a great job on just about every other guy out there. They didn't really let anybody else beat them. Who had the next best points? They had Nurkic with 10, Harkless with 11, Aminu with 10, Layman with 10. But nobody really made, no real X factors entered the game. You look at Toronto. Well, you had Kawhi Leonard who had 38, while Siakam had 16 on 4 of 8 shooting. Gasol had 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. He was unbelievable in the starting unit there tonight. Lowry was awesome. Double-double, 19 and 10 for Lowry. He shot the ball extremely well, 7 of 13, 3 of 8 from 3. Also, he took at least 2 charges in the game today, and he also gets, where is it here? He also gives you a steal and a block, and that block was nice because it was Aminu and him kind of on a one-on-one, really. And Lowry just kind of swats the ball away. Just unbelievable job by Lowry on that one. Danny Green sprinkles in 11 for you. Jeremy Lin, I thought, was great off the bench with 8 and good defense as well. The bench didn't do a whole lot except for Jeremy Lin in my eyes, but the starting unit was that good. Now the question arises after this game. Who would you start every single game if you had the choice? Would it be Serge Ibaka? Would it be Marc Gasol? Now, Ibaka coming off the bench today didn't have a great game. He shot 0 of 5 from the field. He only had 2 points and 7 rebounds. 7 rebounds ain't bad. But he only had a couple points, didn't make a shot from the field whatsoever, no threes. He was 0 of 2 from 3 and 0 of 5 from the field. And then you look at Marc Gasol, he was 2 rebounds away from a double-double, and then he had 3 assists away from a triple-double. So, he was really close to all that stuff. 9 to 13 shooting. He was 0 of 2 from 3, but he gave you 2 steals, a block, and he was a plus 22 while he was on the floor. I thought Gasol had a fantastic game. I thought the whole starting unit was spectacular. They were making the shots. Listen to the percentages of the starting unit guys. Siakam, let me go just by percentage here. 50%. Kawhi Leonard, 60. In the amount of shots he took, money. Gasol, 69%. Lowry, 53%. Danny Green, 80% because he didn't take many shots. He was, 3 of 4 from 3 and 4 of 5 from the field. That starting unit was on fire tonight. The bench didn't get a whole lot going, except for Jeremy Lin. But you didn't need them. You didn't need them to impact the game as much as they... It would have been nice. Trust me, it would have been great to see the bench actually do something tonight, but they didn't. And it's okay. Because the Raptors, they've now won 2 straight games. They beat the Boston Celtics, and they beat the Portland Trail Blazers. And Portland ain't a shabby team. Well, coming into the game today, they were 38 and 23, and they had won 5 straight games. They'd be playing really good basketball, and they just beat the Boston Celtics a couple nights ago. in Boston. So for the Raptors to come out today and hit the buzzer beater shot the way they did, my goodness. I'm just a quick thing here, guys. The Bulls and Hawks game is in triple overtime, and the score is 155-155. Oh my God, people got their money's worth. That's for darn sure. And I think Trae Young had 34 at one point. What's he at now? 47. Trae Young is something else. Next game for the Toronto Raptors, though, guys, is Sunday early evening. It's a 6 p.m. tip-off in Detroit, Air Canada West, as the Raptors take on Dwayne Casey and the Detroit Pistons. And if I'm not mistaken, if the playoffs started today, that would be a round one matchup. So it could be a round one preview. Ideally, Brooklyn, Detroit, and Charlotte are really, really close. And then there's there's Orlando, who's only half a game out of 8th. And then there's Miami, a game and a half out of 8th. I mean, it's a weird race down there in the bottom 3 seeds of the Eastern Conference, guys. But it could possibly be a round one matchup there on Sunday evening as the Raptors head to Detroit to take on the Pistons. So the Raptors end their 6-game homestand today with the win over Portland. They end that homestand at 5-1. Obviously, the loss to the Orlando Magic at home with no Kawhi Leonard, and they just didn't look good. And that happens. And you won, 7 straight going into that. You lose 1. Okay, now you've won 2 straight. That's what good teams do. And you've beaten some good teams. I don't care if Boston has played lately. The record is good. They're still a good team. And the Raptors manhandled them. And then you found a way to win today against the Portland Trail Blazers. And the one thing I want to say about this game, they got to find a way to close the game better. That was not a good way of closing the game today. They didn't make their shots. They were playing good defense, but you can only do so much. But really, for the most part, this Raptor team has been a great fourth quarter team, so I'm not too worried about that, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed the video, and man, if you guys enjoyed the game today, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. Who is your MVP? Would you give it to Lowry, who I thought was fantastic? I was ready to give him the MVP. Then Kawhi hits a game-winning shot, and I'm like, well, can't really do that now, can I? Lowry was fantastic. Gasol was incredible. Siakam, I thought he had some tough luck in the game. I thought he was still pretty good. He still fired up 16. Not going to complain. Or is it Kawhi Leonard? Or do you have anybody else you want to fire in there? Danny Green, by the way, hit a big tying 3 there in the final 2 minutes of the game. You can't leave that unnoticed. He has been incredible for this Raptor team this year. All right, so I want to hear everything you guys want to talk about Raptors edition down below. The Raptors are 46-17. Wow. All right, so Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition sometime this week. We haven't really discussed as of yet when we will be doing the podcast. Links are in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, and I will talk to you guys Leafs edition. All right, it'll be tomorrow night as the as the Leafs look to rebound after that horrendous game against the Islanders. And Leaf fans, if you guys are listening, and by the way, if anybody's at the end of this video, I applaud you for it. Leaf fans going to that game tomorrow against the Buffalo Sabres at home. How about we give John Tavares a standing ovation every time he touches the ice? Cheer him on, touches the puck, cheer him on. Let him know we don't give a darn what the Islander fans have to say. He is a Leaf. We love him, so let's enjoy it. All right, Leaf fans, be loud out there on Saturday for John Tavares and the Toronto Maple Leafs as they take on the Buffalo Sabres. Carter Hutton, Frederick Anderson are the expected starters in that game tomorrow night. And as for the Toronto Raptors, guys, like we said, they take on the Detroit Pistons in Detroit on Sunday early evening, 6 p.m. tip-off there at Air Canada West. The Raps looking for their 3rd straight victory. And they look to actually beat the Detroit Pistons this year and not get a buzzer beater from Jose Calderon or whatever the heck happened in that game really early in the year. They look to play a better one, and hopefully Kawhi's shoulder's okay. You guys saw that late in the game today. Hopefully he's all right, and he'll be in the lineup there on Sunday against Detroit. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you guys then.